North Texas head coach Ross Hodge returns to the pass and shoot line. You're on Marching to Madness as the Mean Green have won 8 out of their last 9 games. They're tied in the loss column now with UAB and Memphis atop the American Athletic Conference. This team uses the signature defensive approach as North Texas holds opponents to 58.6 points per game, fourth in college basketball, and they are stable at limiting shots and making opponents only take 19 of 47 on average per game. Coach, it's great to chat Mean Green as I saw you guys play, as we just said, up in Kissimmee against Utah State, Northern Iowa, in that NIT preseason.
Yeah, we were honored to be a part of that tournament. It was a great field, obviously. Utah State is having an incredible season. Northern Iowa as well really got it rolling once they got into Missouri Valley play. So again, we talked about going into that tournament. A lot of groundwork has been laid through the years here at North Texas. A lot of players, coaches, student assistants to get us to the point where we can be a part of some of those events and continue to put North Texas basketball in the forefront of people's minds.
Yeah, those defensive numbers do that impressively each season. Once again, they're near what you guys expect there in Denton, Texas. What is your philosophy on how you limit opponents to such a low number of opportunities per game?
Well, some of it is, I think, because it's not like football. Football, the defense gets a stop, the offense runs onto the field. The offense doesn't score, then they run off and the defense comes on. There's an ethos and a chemistry layered between, how efficient you can play offense and certainly helps your defense. And, getting back, transition defense is a big point of emphasis, trying to keep people in the half court. And then once, they're in the half court, as simple as you could say it, trying to keep the ball in front of you and out of the paint and contest as many shots as you can. And then when you do get beat or, if the offense gets a little bit of advantage, trying to funnel it where you want it and making them score over bodies.
Quiet at night on Wednesday as Brennan Laurent scored 20 points with 13 boards and 5 blocked shots as you guys take a 76-67 win over Temple.
Yeah, Coach Fisher has done a tremendous job with that program at Temple. Really say this season is kind of a continuation to the end of their season last year, where they made an incredible run to the conference tournament championship game. They recruited well in the offseason, picked up one of the biggest portal additions in Jamal Mashburn Jr. So we knew it was going to be, a dogfight, and it certainly was. And we felt really fortunate to come out on the right side of that game. And yeah, Belo, Brennan Laurent, we call him Belo. He was really good, really in all areas of the game.
Atin Wright really caught my attention as I saw those two in Kissimmee. He leads North Texas in scoring at 14.1 points, but he's averaged 21.7 per game and was 15 of 26 from three in a 3-game stretch before Wednesday night's win. He's just a solid key in your attack, I think, on both ends of the floor. He feels like one of those kids that's got a lot of accountability and a lot of care for what he does.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head, man. He's such a quality teammate and such a quality person. He works at a high rate. He's experienced. He's played a lot of college basketball. He's had a lot of big moments in big games. I think he had, 20 points in the Missouri Valley Championship win last year over a really good Indiana State team. And then in their loss against Washington State in the NCAA tournament, I think he had another 20-point performance. So, he's been in those moments. He loves his teammates. He's got a great spirit about him. He's one of those kids that does not have many bad days, and he's navigated the ups and downs of college basketball seasons. And when we've really needed him In some difficult situations, he's came up big, hit the game winner against Oregon State and hit a game winner against UAB to start conference. And he's made some big shots along the way.
North Texas has always been interesting to me because of your methods of attack and how you go about those, but also the kids in the program, they're joined. I mean, they really work for each other. They work for you guys as a staff. They work for North Texas basketball. Jasper Floyd, to me, is a really sustainable point guard. 3-1 now, over a 3-1 assist to turnover ratio.
Yeah, I mean Jasper, he's another one, man, and you got to give our staff a lot of credit. Jace Hurl, Johnny Estelle, Phil Forte, Mike Randall, Andre Shaw. Those guys did a great job of identifying people that would fit into what we're trying to do. And we lost a lot of experience last year, and we tried to replace experience with experience and guys that had won. And if you look at Jasper's career, he won a national championship in junior college at Northwest Florida, and his Fairfield team last year won 25 games, which is really hard to do at any level. And he's so mature. He has such an even kill approach. He knows what's going on, and he really is the leader of the locker room.
We mentioned the defense, and of course, North Texas is also solid on the glass. You out rebound opponents by 5.5 boards per game. Center Muli Sissoko or Rondel Walker have been really interesting as a combination in that attack because Rondel averages 5.2 per game in his 25.6 minutes.
Yeah, both those guys too were kind of the returning people that had started games in our program. And I think what you've seen with Mulai, especially over the course of conference play, is you've seen a guy that's really reaping the benefits of being at one place for 3 straight years. And sadly, you probably won't see that as much in college athletics.
Yeah.
But you're seeing Mulai really grasp every concept that we're trying to do on both ends of the floor, and his experience allows him to just go play. And he's been playing at a really high level. And Rondel the same way. Rondel impacts winning in so many ways. And there's been times where you can look at a stat sheet and plus minus doesn't always tell the story. It tells part of the story. But there's been multiple times where we've kind of like looked at a stat sheet and Rondel hasn't even scored a point, but he's plus 15 plus minus when he's on the floor. So he's doing a lot of little things that help us win, rebounding. He's a great cutter, great defender. And when we've needed him to jump up and score, like when we were at Minnesota or even at Memphis, he kind of has a knack for that. And he's done that as well when we've needed him to.
Knew you guys were a good 3-point shooting team, but percentage is 37.4% from behind the arc. How do you structure your 3-point game into the overall attack?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just it's getting everyone to buy into just making the simple play as much as you can and not overcomplicating it. And we certainly have really good shooters. They put a lot of time in. And I think if you have good shooters that are shooting the right shots that everybody understands is the good shot, they have a tendency to go in. Now, part of basketball is also understanding what's a good shot for Atin Wright may not be a good shot for Johnathan Massie. And I feel like our team's getting a pretty good understanding of what is a good shot for each individual person, and then making the simple play as many times as we can around that and just passing it, as simple as it sounds, passing it to the open person.
Yeah. Sports psychology is always interesting. What is the mindset you and your assistants approach players as being positive differences on the basketball court?
Yeah, just encouraging everybody that everyone has the same amount of importance within a team. It's not an individual sport. So everyone's role, all the way down from our leading scorer to your 13th man to your student assistants to your training staff. Every single person has equal value. And you can't, the world that we live in and sports, a lot of time, we want to give, the player that scores the most points or has the most rebounds, well, he must have more value than player B. And in reality, everyone's role is equally as valuable to the success as a team. We just have different roles, but every role is equally as important. And if someone doesn't set a really good screen and pass the ball to the player that's shooting it, well, then it don't matter, even though the player that's shooting it may score the points. And so we try to embody that. We try to live that. We try to do our best to make people feel important and seen, regardless of what their basketball role may be.
Jasper Floyd is a talented defensive option. He leads North Texas with 3.9 assists per game. But isn't he more of a combo guard, maybe with his three-point ability?
Yeah, Jasper's primarily, he's most comfortable facilitating. He does have the capability to step into and make some standstill threes, but he's kind of I think his stat line the other night kind of sums him up: 12 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, no turnovers. Making free throws, making simple plays, and just kind of being a jack of all trades.
Florida Atlantic Owls visit you on Saturday. They have a nice inside-out offensive approach. How will they be such a challenge maybe for you defensively?
Well, Coach Jacobs is doing a great job in year one. Obviously was instrumental the last 5 or 6 years in the success that Baylor had. Very good coach, put together an incredible roster of talent, and has them playing well, and they can challenge you and stretch you in a lot of ways. Like you said, their ability to space you, their ability to play in space, the ability to invert their offense a little bit and play with Carroll and Bamba Miller on the perimeter, and their guards can drive and attack. So like anything else, man, you gotta keep them out of transition, and you got to do the best you can to keep the ball in front of you and make them score over you, which can be easier said than done.
Ross Hodge, always a pleasure having him on Marching to Madness, talking about the North Texas Mean Green, who atop the American Athletic Conference with a very good basketball team. They're a very good watch. Coach, it's always a pleasure, man. Thanks for coming on talking to me.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate all you do for college hoops.
Thanks a lot, sir. I appreciate that.